Greetings, you guys. This is Chenoa with Walu Child Readings. This is going to be a love reading, okay? Love energy reading. As you can see, I have Mama Aset and Father Osiris up here with me. I just did some work with Osiris, so thought it was only right to tap into that energy, keep it going, rather. I like this. This actually smells good. I've never had desert sage before. This is my first time using desert sage. But yeah, so let's go ahead and tap into this energy, you guys. Now keep in mind this is a general energy reading. This is not a personal reading. So some parts of this reading may resonate with you while other parts may not, okay? So I'm sure you guys know the whole spiel about that. Let's go ahead and tap into this energy. I don't have to tell y'all that, you need to be respectful on my channel. Any disrespect will not be tolerated. So watch yourself. Watch your energy. All right. So let's see what the overall energy is. And I welcome in the ancestors and the High Council of the universe, which is a divine light, divine service. I will be tapping into shadow energies. If you guys cannot handle that type of thing, then you might want to click off, because I'm here to help. I'm here to heal. I'm not here to sugarcoat, surface read, or anything like that, just to appease your ego. So let's see what we have here. What's the energy surrounding this connection at this time, or whenever you watch this? This is a timeless energy reading. I'm going to use my relationship oracle deck, which I call my big ass deck. It really is big. It's almost as big as a Kindle Fire, I think. Okay, let's see. Divine Spirit, what is the energy surrounding divine connections at this time? We have September. Something about the month of September. Blocks removed. Okay. So whatever may have transpired in September for some of you, it could be something significant for those of you born in September as well. If you have a divine counterpart born in September, that can also be a confirmation for you. But something may have transpired specifically in September, and that's coming up for a reason. Something about those blockages being removed, okay, obviously. So Spirit wants to call that out. Ancestors and Spirit guides, what else do you want us to know at this time? What is the energies that we need to look into at this time? The Cobra, Divine Awakening. So this reminds me of the Kundalini. A lot of you guys could have removed blockages through these Kundalini awakenings. You have Nefertum, number 22, renewal and rebirth. Yeah, okay. So this is, I'll tell you what I see in a second. Okay, so you have number 35 with Sekhmet, change and healing. Bass, number 6, joy and pleasure. Number 19 with Kanum, I don't want to pronounce it, the creator God. And number 42 with Tarot. I don't know how to pronounce some of these names, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You have pregnancy and birth here. Okay. All right. And then you have the Ankh at the bottom. This is the key. The energy key. You have the 2, number 2 with energy healing. That's the top card. Shishita. Number 38, creating and writing. Okay. That's interesting. So with this, with divine awakening, I get Kundalini healing, okay? This could have already taken place, or is taking place, or will take place for some of you whenever you watch this. This also, I feel like, represents some of you. This is what helped remove some of these blockages, okay? We'll get into blockages and maybe what needs to come out, however Spirit leads me to do this reading. But the divine awakening, a lot of you guys have went through not just Kundalini awakenings, like the sexual energies. Some of you guys may have cleansed some sexual traumas, or through your sexual passions and desires, it may have led you to remove some other blockages. So for me personally, because I always feel like spirit leads me to share so that you can kind of get an understanding of what this is. And it may be different for each and every one of you, but as an example, for the past few months, I've been, um, I guess you could say I'm like, I guess celibate to some extent. Um, not having sex by choice or unless I feel led to. So it's been a minute. I'm just being real and honest. It's been a minute. Um, I'll be honest, it's been a whole year. And that's not really that bad because I've gone without it longer, so it's not that bad. As long as you're still using that sexual energy. So I've been feeling a lot of that energy, and it's been translating into writing, creative writing for me. Not just like erotic readings as you guys, or erotic writings as you guys may have noticed. If you are on my channel, you guys will see that I've been doing a lot of erotic writings. So that's part of my channeling. Some of it is sexual healing through sharing of my sexual goddess energy as well. So I'm tapping more into that, and it's also helping me to come out of my shell more. It's giving me more confidence to um, share my body in a sense, like not hide it so much, because I'm trying to become more comfortable with my weight, because I have gained weight over the years. Like, I'm used to being small, so my weight is like up and down. At first I was complaining that I was too skinny, and now I'm complaining that I'm too thick. So I feel like it's helping me with that as well. So I get that this is not just about sexual energies, because I see a lot of cards that represent creation and creativity. So I feel like it's translating into this for both feminine and masculine energies, whether that's energies within self or that's within the physical manifestation of divine feminine, divine masculine, if that makes sense. So renewal and rebirth, specifically masculine energy or the masculine aspect of yourself, you have number 22. So I feel like it's a mirror energy, and there's another Ankh here. That could mean something. Maybe someone's divine masculine has an Ankh tattooed on them, maybe on their chest, or they wear like a necklace or something. Or you could be a divine masculine that does that. But I'm getting that there was like an awakening that also happened on a spiritual level. I feel like maybe you'll notice is based off of the expression. So expressing yourself in such a way that's like maybe more peaceful, or maybe speaking about wanting to make changes and wanting to change your life and how your perspective has changed. I feel like this is a manifestation of that, like expression, because there's a lot of blue here. There's a lot of blue that's coming out of this card. So I feel like the divine masculine, if not already, will be expressing more and more about how they wish to change their life. And for some of them, it's because they've gone through some sort of cleansing and releasing, wanting to come into more of a peaceful energy. If you are a divine masculine, this is the energy that surrounds you, or the energy that you're stepping into. And then we have here change and healing. So divine feminine is also holding that in their hand, that key. So this represents the key to life. This is opening the doors for, I feel, giving birth to self more and more every day. The change in the healing is tapping into that solar plexus energy, your confidence, stepping more into that. The more and more you have confidence over your adversities, over certain things in your life, it's having more of a passion for yourself. This is pushing yourself out of yourself, meaning your old energy. It's this snake energy, this rising, this shedding of skin. I want to see what cobras mean. I just feel led to. My go-to book. I hope they have them in here. I don't know. I can't remember if they have cobras in this book. I know they have pythons and stuff. Let me see. Corn snake. Cobras. Yep. Swift response. Make swift and sudden decisions. Do not be distracted by others. Guard endeavors until ready to act. Then act quickly. So also with all this creation, I feel like this is kind of like jumping off a little bit, but with all of this creative energy here, it could represent that for some of you, you guys are, through these awakenings, you're being guided to focus more on your creative projects and stuff like that. Like, this is where most of your energy may be going to. I don't really get a heavy focus on romance and love or each other. If so, then it could be creating and working together on physical creative projects. So things that you actually enjoy doing. So it's not just pleasure sexually and creating through the physical body. For some of you guys, you do have pregnancy and birth. And that word comes up twice. You have rebirth here and then birth. So it could also be that for some of you, this sexual energy is manifesting and creating a child. And for others, it's that this birth and you're giving birth to self. This is you giving birth to yourself. This is divine feminine, divine masculine giving birth to themselves, and a healthy aspect of divine feminine, divine masculine within the self as well as individuals. So that's part of it. So I feel like you guys will know when it's time. And some of you guys may be taking your relationship inward at this time and keeping it a personal thing. And you're creating and manifesting something together. And you guys may be keeping that a secret right now. Not letting people know. Could be that you're deciding to keep your pregnancies a secret. And it was 11/11 as soon as I said that. So this could be something that has already transpired, something that's currently taking place, or something that potentially in the future will take place for some of you. But if this is not about your connection per se, because everything aligns, like whatever your creative project is, as a power couple or powerful force together, whatever you create is essentially something that is a foundation for your connection as well. Whether you realize this, you don't have to know who your divine counterpart is at this space and time. Like, you will come together when it's meant to be, and you will know who you guys are, because you already know each other through energy and through spirit and soul. But the physical aspect, you may not know who this person is. You may not know of them. So when you get together, it doesn't matter. Your journey is about you, and everything else that is an extension of you will manifest and will align with you when it's time. So either way, however it goes, Spirit is saying that you will know when to act on these things and when to share these things. So like I tell people, some things are not meant to be shared with people, things you're working on, whether you have some haters, some naysayers, some people putting some negative salt on it, or creating blockages, or people might take, stealing ideas and stuff like that. It's important that you keep these things to yourself, okay? So you have joy and pleasure. So joy and pleasure, again, I feel like this goes back to individually birthing yourself out. And also it could be just as simple as seeking to be happy and joyous and to laugh and to do things that you enjoy, even if that's just sitting at home sipping some wine or some Hennessy, whatever you want to do, smoke some weed, whatever, go out dancing, paint, color in a coloring book with your kids, whatever gives you that joy at this time. That's where Spirit wants you to place your focus. And I feel like this is speaking to feminine energy. And if it's a masculine energy I'm talking to, your feminine energy within you needs that that nurturing of the things that you truly enjoy. Maybe you haven't allowed yourself to really do something you enjoy at this time. Maybe you're hard on yourself. I know I have. So it's something such as sleeping. Like, I've been feeling guilty about sleep. Like, I love to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. I love to sleep. I can get down on some sleeping, but at times I feel guilty because, like, oh, I got to do this. I still got to do that. I got to do this, do that. I still have people I need to tend to, and there's this guilt about sleeping when I really want to sleep. So you have to listen to yourself and nurture yourself. So this feminine energy is not always about a physical woman. It can represent that aspect of you that needs that nurturing and that love. And you have these two cats here. One of them is Bassett. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I believe cats represent guidance and guardianship. Cats also have a very significant, I can't get it out, very significant connection with the spirit realm, okay? So it says cats represent independence, mystery, and magic is afoot, but you must find your own way of expressing it. Develop your ability to be more independent. So it's just following the beat of your own drum, because again, you're coming out of your energy. This is, some of you guys, this is coming into more of a courageous, fearless, confident part of yourself, and doing it alone. Even though you are being guided, you have guides. And the mystery could be that certain things that you didn't even know that you were into, certain things that you didn't know that you would even be drawn to, things that you didn't know that, you know, that you wanted to try or wanted to manifest or create. But you're tapping into this, the more and more you burn off these old energies, you're coming into your own in some level. You're going deeper and deeper into yourself. The creator God. So I see that the masculine side of this is very focused on the evolution of themselves and who they wish to be. If you look at this card, it's like this God is overseeing these two men, these two masculine energies on this card. So seeing who they wish to be and where they wish to go, and desiring to create a better person. Their higher self is doing this. They're tapping into their higher self. And it's right underneath the renewal and rebirth card. So I see masculine energy doing this. Now, this can also represent an evolution process, seeing who they used to be versus who they become, or looking at themselves as they are now and who they wish to become in the future. And putting a lot of energy on creating their higher self, or bringing their higher self into embodying their higher self, their godly energy in the physical. So you have pregnancy and birth. So yeah, some of you guys, this is the process of actual birth. Okay. Some of you will have twins, I'm getting, because you have a lot of twos here. These two men, these two cats. I think I saw 22 somewhere in here. It was this card, renewal and rebirth. But again, it's also representing that the both of you are giving birth to yourselves, okay? So let's see what's going on within this connection a little bit deeper. I'm going to use what I want to use. I think I want to use the chakra cards, if I'm not mistaken. I want to use the chakras. Okay. So let's see, what is going on within divine feminine energy? Now, this may resonate with you even if you are a man or you do not identify as a feminine man or whatever. This can represent the feminine energy within self. So both sides may resonate differently, but do take what resonates. What is the feminine energy within themselves? Grief, renewal, bittersweet, perception, and creation. Okay. So there is a couple of heart chakra energies here. So what's going on in the heart is pushing through this grief and sadness within self and having the divine wisdom, or having a higher perspective on certain disappointments in the past, and healthy releasing. That it's okay to grieve, it's okay to be sad, but there's like a wiser view on this perception, like the card says. There's a dog here, so this represents how to release the sadness connected to companionship, that not every loss is a bad thing. Maybe some of you have lost a pet recently that was very close to you, and that's teaching you something in regards to the matters of the heart. It's teaching you how to look at life, because the butterfly, if you notice in this card, there's two butterflies, and this represents transformation and rebirth. That energy of rebirth comes out again. And you may have learned something about transformation and rebirth as well when it comes to love, that some things go through changes. And though it may not always be happy, it may not always be what we want, but it's what we need. And I feel like there's some wisdom in this energy right here. So also teaching about attachments as well, healthy and unhealthy attachments to certain things and certain people, certain perceptions maybe when it comes to love or connections with people just in general. There's also a dove here. So some of you may have made peace with some sort of sadness that you had, or needing to let go or release of something. So this is pushing yourself further into yourself. So anytime that we go through a challenging time or some sort of adversity, it's meant to highlight something within us that we need to like go within and really figure out where the root issue of why this is bothering me, why does it hurt. And sometimes you just need to feel the hurt, because there's much wisdom in it. You know, you don't want to just count anger or sadness or fear. You want to explore it, rather than dwell in it. There's a difference between exploring and trying to feel into the energy, like, why is this hurting me so bad? Like, why is this making me sad? Like, trying to understand yourself better and where this stems from, so that you know how to walk in this energy. What do I need to do with it? How do I release it? Do I need to release it? What do I need to change? What is this teaching me? Like, this is having self-awareness and going just further. When I keep saying deeper into self, this is going into those shadows. We're in Scorpio season. I can't stress this enough. You probably will hear me say this all throughout Scorpio season, that this is the time to do shadow work. And a lot of the hidden subconscious things, sometimes the most painful stuff has to come up. And if you think about the death card, it's death, plague, you know. But if you look at the death card in the traditional tarot, you'll see that there's a sun in the back. So with this death comes a new beginning and transformation, and it leads to something more. It leads to enlightenment as well. So I feel like that's what this is. And there's an emerald here. So emeralds for me can represent wisdom, okay, royalty and prosperity. So there's prosperity within the change of perception, of what perception you're coming into as it pertains to grieving and sadness and releasing and letting go. There's growth as well. If you see these branches, these leaves, it represents growth. So renewal is here. So the root chakra, the root of all of this, I feel like, is in regards to your growth. You see how she's in meditation. She's receptive. She's receptive to these growth and these changes that she's going through. It's like a season. As seasons change, so do we. So because we're spiritual beings, we're connected to all that is. So just as the moon represents feminine energy, and it has cycles and it's moody, and it makes some of us moody, makes us emotional, that it represents the intuition, the shadow, the hidden, the mystique, kind of all those things that could be feminine energies, right? Just as women have menstrual cycles. So everything aligns. So if you look at this card, it looks like it's coming out of winter. Things are starting to brighten up. And then if you look at this side, then it's now everything is blossomed. So this is about being in kind of like in a transition, not fully out of one stage and into a new, but there is renewal nonetheless. You are being birthed out. You are growing through this process, regardless of what it may look like and what it seems. She's also in peace because she knows that things have to go through certain cycles and seasons. And it's meant to bring renewal within the self. Every season that we go through, there's something that we're taking from it, that we're meant to learn, that this awakening. Okay, so the sun is behind her, it's beaming, and this can also represent receiving divine blessings in this renewal process, because it's like you're in between stages, creation. So this represents the crown chakra. So your higher self is definitely creating as you honor yourself, as you honor your authentic truth and self. That higher self within you is helping you to create and manifest. And there's this bittersweet card. It represents the throat chakra. There's another dove here. So doves are symbols of peace. And what's interesting is that this grown woman, she's handing a cake to her younger self. So this could be that you're releasing some inner child energies, or you're releasing some aspects of you in the past that no longer serve you, and celebrating that even through the pain and even through the grief and this whole process, it may not be easy, but still expressing your gratitude and still celebrating yourself and celebrating through these things, because it's actually helping you to liberate yourself and free yourself. There's also purple energy in this card, so this can represent your third eye chakra, intuition. So your intuition is also in heightening as well. It's not always easy to let go of things, even aspects of ourselves, because it's like when we heal and when we release, like we may be asking for changes and we may be asking to be better people, but we gotta be mindful of what we're asking, because sometimes it does require, some triggering and some heavy energies. Most of the time it does, whether we're triggering ourselves from past trauma, hurts, and pains, whether it's people that's triggering these things. But the rewards are great, and that's what's being celebrated with this birthday cake. It's like you're going through this rebirth process within yourself. You're not going to come out the same person as you once were. Okay? You're creating higher self. And for some of you guys, this is tapping more into your spiritual gifts and embracing them more and utilizing your spiritual gifts to create and manifest yourself. Seeing yourself as the sacred being that you are, completions. Yeah, some of you may not be, and then you have insecurity at the bottom. Some of you may not be completely open to the fact that certain things have to go. I feel certain passions, certain desires are not as appealing as they once were. This can also be detaching from, it's not saying that you shouldn't be sad or that you shouldn't grieve or be frustrated or whatever, but it's detachment from being too caught up in the physical of things, being too caught up in what things look like. Because some of you guys could be focusing on this connection in a sense where, or maybe you just ended a relationship with someone. It could be that this person is not truly the one, or it could be that there's some endings that need to take place. Like you guys were meant to come to this closure and ending so that it could push you further into yourselves to be better people, to be at that highest state that you're meant to be in, to be together. So certain aspects of you could not be in the same space. You could have been dealing with someone, a masculine energy that was very highly insecure, that didn't feel stable within themselves. They didn't feel open and capable to love and embrace you or to embrace your connection. Some of you guys have to let go of the fact that some people did not have the capacity to even receive your love, rather alone give it. If this person does not have that love to give to themselves, what makes you think that they have it to give to you? So I feel like Spirit is saying, again, that it's okay to grieve. And this is not only speaking of romantic energy. This could be friendships. This could be family members. That sometimes it hurts that the love that you give to others is not reciprocated. Not saying that it has to be reciprocated in the exact same love language as you, but just being reciprocated. And I feel that this is a bittersweet energy of letting go of all aspects in the past. Okay? This is like your old selves looking yourself. Your angels and ancestors are also here to help you. Some of you may be grieving over the loss of loved ones that physically left your life as well. The insecurity can also be coming from that masculine energy within yourself, that your ego kind of attacks your confidence and makes you feel like you're unloved and you're not worthy to receive. And you may be perceiving yourself in a very lower vibrational way. And I do see that a lot of you are coming out of that. You're not handling things the same way that you once did. You're coming out of this more and more. Okay. So let's see what the divine masculine energies, this card flew out, what is it? Impartiality. Divine masculine energies, where are you at? Abundance. There's a lot of duality. Releasing as well. Enlightenment. Perseverance. So they're dealing with their solar plexus energies coming out a lot. And so is the crown chakra. So you have 2 crown chakra cards, 2 solar plexus cards, and 1 sacral chakra card. So what's going on with divine masculine energy? You have impartiality. And this card is very interesting. I love this card because she's holding 2 paint buckets in her hands. One bucket you can clearly see that it says paint. One you can see that it says pain. Like you can't see the T all the way. So it's based off of perception. I feel like they're impartial about certain things that are happening within their life, maybe within this connection, where they're not really fully confident in their abilities to create and manifest the things that they want to in their life. And that could be because of the fact that they're wavering between things in their past that has caused them this trauma and this pain, or the pain and what they've caused someone else. Maybe this is being in a limbo with the divine feminine energy, not sure whether they want to create or whether they want to walk away, which could, could potentially bring not just pain to them, but pain to this feminine energy. So it could be causing pain to someone, the fact that it's almost like they're indecisive and not clear on themselves. Their higher self is not in a balanced state. And it's because that they haven't fully released some sort of trauma, or if you're a divine masculine energy. And like I said, this can also resonate with a divine masculine aspect within self, whether you identify as divine masculine or not, it doesn't matter. But this could be a lack of forgiveness and some sort of guilt and resentment, very dark thoughts, very dark thinking that's clouding the judgment. They have not fully let go of these things. They're in a graveyard, so they're still carrying the weight of past hurts, and maybe they have lost some people along the way as well. It does not have to be to death. It could be situations, relationships that did not work out, whether that was friendships, romantic situations, family situations, have not fully released the pain connected to these things. Abundance is also about perception. What does abundance mean? And I feel like divine masculine is learning this. That what does true prosperity mean? What truly matters to me? They could be having financial worries and financial setbacks and things not going their way. And this could be teaching them the value of what abundance really truly is. That sometimes you have to be stripped of things to have a clear perspective of what really matters. And if it's not finances that they're getting a perspective on, the stripping of some sort of physical abundance or material abundance could also be because there's things that need to be released, okay? It seems as though things are being stripped or taken from them, but this is to bring about some sort of enlightenment to push them again towards themselves. With this child here, this could have something connected to their children, okay? Or your children, if you resonate with this. And I feel it also represents the inner child, that innocence of surrendering and trusting in God or the divine or the universe, whatever, your ancestors, that higher power that guides you, that compass, that higher compass, that inner compass within self, and being humble enough to go to that and ask for clarity and seek. They have to surrender. So it may be to a point where they have no choice but to seek the divine within themselves, or seek the divine, period, because God is not outside of us. God, our angels, our ancestors, they are a part of us, not a part from us. So I feel like this is seeking that and being receptive to that wisdom that the divine has. Perseverance, okay? So perseverance, there's a point maybe to where divine masculine wants to give up on their dreams, give up on their goals, which ultimately is giving up on self. And they have ancestors and spirit guides that wants them not to give up, because they can see what's on the other side. They're saying, like, this stuff right here, this is temporary. This is all about a choice. This is all about your choices and your decisions for yourself and your perception. That it's all in your perception. And this is meant to teach you. It's also meant to help you release what does not serve you. The thoughts and the things and the people, the attachments that hold you back. Okay? And not to give up on self. That's what this is. Let's see what the bottom card. The bottom card is faith. The top card is growth. Ooh, that card flew out. Like, take me. So this card is interesting. It's in an emergency room. There's plants. Different types of plants here. So I feel like this represents different levels of growth or different aspects of their life that is going through this growth process. And this represents the heart chakra. So when it comes to matters of the heart, it's like spirit is like, it's almost like imperative that they do these things, because spirit can see what it is that they don't see, and spirit wants them to have faith and trust in spirit, guys. Like sometimes, and that's the archetype of masculine energy, and a lot of women have this attribute in them. Even the most so-called feminine women have this hustler mentality, and there's nothing wrong with being a hustler, there's nothing wrong with being independent, but it's this do it myself attitude where you cut out any support or help. It's an imbalanced aspect, because we all have masculine energies in self. So it's a healthy way for women to tap into self and get things done, support themselves, be confident, be assertive in such a way that they're almost like their own, husband in their life. And that's if, for single women especially, you're so used to protecting yourself and being your own man and doing everything by yourself and for yourself and not being able to depend on others, that you channel this energy where you don't have trust and faith in people. And that translates into spirit sometimes, in the spirit realm, where sometimes you don't always trust. And I know that I suffered from this at times. And spirit does have to whip us into shape sometime to get us to trust in the higher self, to trust in the higher order, the divine, the high council, that some things we can't all do here on our own, and spirit sometimes sends us people to help us and support us. Sometimes we push it away because we don't trust other people. I feel like that's what this energy is. So I guess you would say it's kind of a distorted masculinity. But this is also to not only trust in the higher council connected to them, divine masculine, but also to trust in your own inner wisdom, your higher self, not so much on the logics, because the crown chakra needs some balance. There's some imbalance here. Perceiving things from not a higher consciousness, if that makes sense. Alright. So let's tap into the tarot. Why do these cards want to come out? Yeah, it's reiterating something. 3 of the same cards came out. So you got the third eye chakra with faith, the solar plexus with abundance, and the crown chakra release. So these may be chakras that need some work. So divine spirit, where is divine feminine at with divine masculine energy? Where is the divine feminine collective at with the divine masculine energy? The 8 of Cups, the King of Cups, 5 of Swords, the 3 of Cups. Where is the divine masculine at with divine feminine energy? The 2 of Swords. What is going on? The 8 of Swords and the Hierophant. The Ace of Wands. Okay. So where is divine feminine? So with the 8 of Cups, I feel, and I don't really read these cards in a traditional sense always. I'm just going off of my intuition and the imagery off of the cards, if I can even pick them up. The 8 of Cups is kind of like maybe walking away from trying to force and control things, playing games, playing this gamble with love, taking unnecessary risks in love, I feel, because it's kind of like this scenery where it's like no longer taking pleasure in games, okay? This also looks like they're in a nightclub type of setting or like a party. So some of you guys may be bored with some of these feminine energies I'm getting could be single and have not met their divine masculines ever or at all, or know that they have. I mean, I'm not going to say that you don't know that you have one, but you have not met someone that you feel like could be it. Maybe you've had some counterfeits, but you're at this point where you really don't feel like it. And you may have had a time where you just kind of played around with love, experimenting out of boredom. And you're done, you're tired of that. And it could even be could have been resulting in going on dating sites and stuff like that, or going out to clubs and stuff, but not really getting anything, not really getting what you're like what you're seeking. You haven't found what you're seeking, because there's love in your heart, whether you have a divine masculine in your presence or not. There's love in your heart for this. You want a love that, and he's holding 2 cups in his hand, and it's like he's exalting this love, and I feel like this is what you're seeking within your heart. You have a passion for it, you have a desire for it. You want someone that's bold with their love, like not shy and afraid to show you love. You may have had some people play in the background and like try to seduce you and get your attention, but you're tired of playing these games. I'm gonna like explain an example of what I'm getting with this, if this doesn't already resonate for some of you already, because it might be different scenarios, but this is like a real life situation. In the beginning, like, I think subliminals with people are fun and it's cute in the beginning, like to go back and forth and like shoot subliminals, but at some point it's like, okay, we're adults, like let's just talk, like let's really just express this. And at some point you get tired, it's like, okay, well, I'm a grown woman, and where I'm at right now, like I don't have time for this kitty stuff. Like it's kind of cute sometimes, but after a while you want some real communication. You want someone to be forthcoming with you and not, you know, all this stuff. Like now we have social media where people can just play behind the screen and like your pictures and comment and maybe even like little sub shit. But after a while it's like, okay, well, you need to be forthcoming and like express your interest. Like, and I feel like that's what some of this is. And if this is your divine masculine energy, you could be in that state where you're like, I'm tired of these back and forth games with you. We're up and we're down, and you're no longer emotionally fulfilled with the games. So if you go backwards from the 8 of Cups to the 7 of Cups, there's a lot of illusions and delusional energy, or just a lot of deception in the heart. There's a lot of game playing, only seeing what you want to see. Some of you, if you've been single, you may have had tastes of different cups. You're not interested in all of it, and you just want to focus on one energy of one person, or you've made a decision that you don't want to indulge with other people and you only want one person, whether you know who that person is or not, or just saving yourself for the essence of who your divine masculine is. I feel like that's what you're doing. Some of you guys, I don't like to always call out zodiac signs, but the King of Cups is here, so this could have something to do with someone with a water sign, or you could be a water sign. The 5 of Swords, again, it's like, it looks like these men are about to be punished in a sense. So it could also be that with the 5 of Swords, you're tired of the conflict of all these different energies. You're putting your foot down and you're disciplining yourself. So this could be, for a lot of you, you were dating multiple people, or you've allowed yourself to keep your options open with multiple people that did not really, they did not really live up to your expectations. They may have had attributes, because these men, they seem like they're good, they're in good shape, you know, they have great bodies and things like that. They may be also attractive, they have good attributes, but they're just good on paper. They're not good for you, they're not meant for you. So I feel like you're done fighting, you're done playing games. So some of you may have taken a break from your divine connection and just dated around. Some of you guys, like I said, you have not met your divine counterpart, whether that be in the physical, whether you know of them or you don't know who they are at all, but you know that you have an energy out there, an essence that you're meant to come in contact with, that you decided to cut cords with these people. And this could be exes that were lingering in your energy field, holding you back. Okay, you're deciding to walk away from this energy. And then you have the Queen of Cups. I didn't even notice that. I think I said it, but I didn't notice it, that you have 2 counterparts in the mix. So this is because you're dedicating your time and energy to manifesting yourself and giving to that energy. See how she's worshiping this divine goddess energy. So this is you worshiping yourself, not in a vanity type of, you know, perception or space or energy, but more so loving yourself unconditionally. And you've been spending a lot of time giving to yourself and loving yourself. And this is what's going to attract your divine masculine. If you're not on that tip, you need to get on it. Like, I've actually found myself, I haven't really been, I mean, I do focus on it. I still wonder, you know, when's that going to come in or what it is. But I've been so busy with myself on, like, not even on purpose. Like, I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And I haven't really had much energy to indulge and worry about it and focus on anybody really and be focused on this person and that person. Like, I don't have that energy for it. So I feel like this may just be something that just comes natural. So the Two of Swords for the masculine energy is they're in battle with themselves. Okay, I don't feel like this is another masculine energy. On a spiritual level, it could be on a higher level that they are fighting off masculine energies. Maybe that's why when you're sitting at the club or at the bar and nobody's really coming up to you, they might be looking, but there's something in them's like, oh no, I can't holler at her. I need to stay in the background. You see how this one masculine energy is in the background. He's not really interacting. Is that a woman or a man? I think that's a man. They look kind of feminine, but I don't know. But I feel like they're not able to approach the feminine for a reason. And it could be like on a spiritual level, like in the spirit realm, they're protecting and fighting off these other energies. But I feel like more so the first thing I got is mentally they're fighting themselves over this connection. If they don't know about you, I'm not talking about like delusional energy, but like the essence of their true divine feminine, this divine masculine energy could be stressing out. And if you're in a relationship or connection with this person, like actually in a connection where you guys are communicating and together and such, or you guys are like on a break or something. Because I have to be careful when I do these readings, but you have to trust your own intuition, your own discernment at the end of the day. But I have to be very careful with when I'm doing these types of readings not to feed into people's delusion, because a lot of people have got it fucked up thinking that people are their twin flame when it's just you're just obsessed with someone or you're infatuated with someone. You have no reason to feel that way. And yes, you can manifest and attract signs and synchronicities if that's all you do is think about a person. Yes, you can manifest them in your dreams if that's all you do is think about them 24/7. You can manifest their name. You can manifest whatever. If that's all you do is you're thinking about this person 24/7. So of course that's going to happen. But I'm talking about authentic connections, or people doesn't even have to be somebody that you have slept with or been in a relationship. You know that there's a connection between the two of you because it's being reciprocated. That's number one. And just because you have a reciprocal connection with someone that's intense, again, does not mean that they're the divine counterpart. You have to discern this. And that's why it's important the more and more that you come into this energy with yourself, whether you're male or female, when you come into this energy of self-love, knowing who you are, knowing what it is that you really want, you'll start to really... That's why some of you are getting bored with certain people and certain options, and maybe even someone you thought was a divine counterpart for you. Because when you get to a place where you healed your traumas, certain people that you were attracted to, you'll find that you really weren't into them. It was something within you that needed healing. It was something in you that was drawn to these types of people. And they may have also been helpful to your journey to help you heal and get to a place within yourself. So I'm saying that too. I can say this as a testimony that I've had multiple people that I could have thought was the one, and I even got slipped up sometimes saying, oh, this is the one, this is my divine counterpart, because of where I was at the time, because of the energy and what it felt like. But the key thing is I noticed that the more and more I healed myself and the more I went into myself, I stopped being attracted to certain people. Although feelings might have still been there and I still love and have love for these people, I can see that most of it was attachments and a lot of it was expectations. So you have to be very discerning of what you're perceiving to be the one. And it's never going to be something or someone that is running from you. Even if that person tells you straight up that they love you, if this is someone that's not giving to you in any way, there's a difference between a person that's going within themselves that does not have that energy to give. They will respect you and tell you that I don't have the energy to give to this relationship, or I'm not in a good space right now, but I want to work on this, or you know, I need to work on myself, rather than someone that's fucking off and saying, oh, we need to take a break just so they can fuck around, or someone that's running from you, or someone that hit it and quit it and they're just done. You have to know when someone's playing games with you. You have to know the difference when someone is not truly interested at all and it's just a figment of your imagination and you want it to be that, or if it's someone that genuinely is not in the space to give you what you need, and it's time to take a break so that you can go within yourself and they go within themselves. And some couples go through this. Sometimes they can't just say, oh, I want to take a break. We're married. You can't just be like, I want to take a break. I mean, I guess that's why they have separation. But for some people, it's just, we go through these changes together, and it's not always going to be rainbows. And that's the dedication. Some of us have the wrong idea of dedication. We dedicate ourselves to fuck boys and fuck girls and thinking, oh, I'll just wait around for them to get it right and they'll come around. That's not what the dedication spirit's talking about. I'm going to go through the waves of trauma and abuse and manipulation and control. That's not it. Dedication is, we both want to work on this together. I'm not where I want to be within myself, but I want to be there. I want to do this together. And even if that means I need your support, I need your help, that's what the counterpart is there for, to balance you out. Because we're not always going to be perfect, and sometimes we have to call our partners out on their bullshit and vice versa. You know, just like you would want your friend to tell you the truth and be straight up with you, you would want the same with your partner, that it's not always going to be sugar coated. And like I said, so this was a long spiel, but I don't want anyone to get under the impression that anyone and everyone is their quote unquote twin flame and their soulmate just because you have an attraction, or because you're seeing their name everywhere, or because this person's running from you. Like, I honestly feel like, and I'll say it again, that some of this stuff is very, very toxic. Like, these teachings and it's created a lot of delusional things. It's not healthy. It's not. And I've had a lot of people come to me and tell me that they needed a wake-up call, and thank you, it hurt to hear it, but I needed to hear it. And I've had to have that wake-up call. Like, I was in some very straight up delusional places, because that's where I was going through my journey in the beginning, and I thought everything, like, oh, this was meant to be, this person and that person. And I could say it was because of who I was at the time. You will know when you've met your true match, because the energy flows. There's no force, there's no control. You don't have to convince this person that they're the one, or convince yourself that they're the one, or convince other people that they're the one, or you don't have to put a title and label on it. You don't have to piss on it to say it's yours. Like, you don't have to claim the territory. Like, it is what it is. Like, your energies already have that signature that say that you're my, my match. It is what it is. And everybody's story is different. Not everybody's story is going to end up, oh, it was rainbows and butterflies and they cut me off and ran off. Like, I'm going to be honest, this twin flame stuff sounds like unrequited love. And y'all want to talk about Mary Magdalene and Isis and Osiris, but they worked together. It wasn't no running and chasing. It wasn't no, oh, Jesus helped this, this whore in the streets out, and she was running from him, and she didn't want to do it. She wanted to stay a hoe. He was trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. It wasn't none of that chasing stuff. Like, it's not that. You don't have to chase nothing that's meant for you. What's meant for you aligns with you. That's the difference. Long spiel, but somebody needed to hear it. Hopefully it helped. Okay, so Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a mental conflict. So it actually could represent that for some masculine energies, they are, and maybe this is why I needed to say what I needed to say, because some masculine energies are stuck in a connection with someone that is not of their highest good, and spirit is trying to step in as divine intervention and cut the bullshit out. Some of these masculines are not able to see what's truly of their highest good because they're in conflict with themselves. Okay? You're true divine masculine. And it's another tricky thing too. There's layers to this shit too. Like, it's layers. you may have interacted and encountered and fell in love with a divine masculine, but that person may have not been your divine masculine. That's another tricky thing too. That we can see the divinity in others and it can turn you on and can make you feel attracted, like, oh, I see the divine masculine in you, or oh, I see the divine feminine in you. So you see that on them, but you got to be careful that that doesn't mean that that's your divine masculine or your divine feminine. It's actually a good sign that if you're attracting other divine masculines or other divine feminines, that you're in alignment with yourself and that you very well could be attracting yours. Now, for some of you, you may have already met, you could already be with, and you know the difference. Like those of you that are truly in an authentic divine union, you know. Like, it's not a lot of bullshit, if any bullshit, meaning this person is not playing games with you, they're not hiding from you, they're not running from you, they're not playing mind tricks, entertaining multiple people at the same time. Like, this person is more so focused on getting their selves together, because I feel like they're not even focused so much on the union. Let's say that. And again, this is not to be mistaken with someone that does not want you. It's not to be mistaken with that. This is someone that is very much so in themselves. So in a way, you guys are kind of mirroring to some extent, but they're having more of an inner conflict with self. And it shows with these swords energy. It kind of goes back to the crown chakra cards in the other spread, that they were the imbalance aspect of the crown chakra. So they're going through this. They're battling themselves, or they're going through a major transition within themselves. So you have the Hierophant card. So the Hierophant card is saying that there's a higher power that oversees their connections right now. There's certain contracts that are coming to an end, and there may even be a desire for union, because you have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands, there's a desire for union to come together with their true divine counterpart. And it's the essence. This is another thing that I have to remind myself too. If you ever look at the Calling in Your Soulmate card, I just feel guided to bring this up. There it is. Calling in Your Soulmate card, she has her eyes closed, her arms are open wide, receptive, her head is tilted back, focusing on the higher self, focusing on God, the universe, whatever, a higher power. And there's this angel that's protecting her. That could be her divine masculine energy, the essence of her true divine counterpart, protecting her. She's praying for the essence of what she's seeking. She's not looking at the physical, oh, he drives this, he looks like this is what he does for a living, the sex is good, or we might have certain things in common, and oh, his birthday is this and mine is this. Like, some of that stuff is like, it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. I can count on several fingers how many people that there was always some shit that lined up in a crazy freaking way. Okay, all that means is that you guys have a connection. Does not mean that that's the person for you. Also, on non-romantic connections, I've had crazy connections with people. Like, oh my God, like fucking freaky. Like, I just met a stranger and it's like shit just lines up. That's the beauty of the universe, and that's the beauty of being in alignment and being connected to all that is to some extent. But that does not mean that that is the person. You guys have to get in tune with the essence of yourself to know the essence of who your divine counterpart is. If you don't know that, you'll be swayed and persuaded and moved by every freaking person, because you're coming into a level of consciousness within yourself. When you get into this place where you become aware of spiritual things, you become aware of the hidden things and the subconscious, and the mystery of the universe and the mystique and the beauty of the universe, you start to open yourself up more to all that is and things that you didn't see before. So you start noticing connections. Connections stop becoming coincidences. So certain people have more of a significance in our journey, more so than others. Some connections may be past life ones. Some connections may be here to help us learn lessons, help us heal, to support us, and so on and so forth. So when you connect with people, when you're heightened spiritually, you become aware of all these different energies, and it's easy to feel like every connection is special. And in essence, it is, because it's not just like you're just dating for nothing. So Again, be discerning. That's why the Queen of Cups, she has to worship the goddess within herself. She has to know that aspect of herself. So much so that when she's in that space, she's able to discern who is the one, because she's looking at all of them like, yeah, y'all look good. Like, y'all got some nice bodies, you know, a little chocolate, whatever, you know. But y'all not it. You guys are not the one. You're not it. And on this side of things, this person over here, his masculine energy is fighting themselves. And because they're fighting themselves, it's reflecting outwardly in their connections, because there's a part of them that's not ready to release and accept. And even it's funny because some of you, like people that identify as divine feminine energy, you may actually have more masculine energies that you operate from more often, and you might be very stubborn in yourself, that you're fighting yourself on something, telling yourself that something is not it, or it can't be anything but this person, or is forcing yourself to be with someone that or something that's not for you. And for some masculine energies, it's because they're stuck in quote unquote earthly connections, or connections that are ordained not in the spirit realm, but court based and paper, you know, paper contracts and stuff like that. Okay. But and there's the Ankh here, the key. Someone's passion, their true authentic spark is going to guide them. But it's up to this person to take that inspiration, and what do they do with it, this divine masculine energy. There's a beetle on his mask, and I want to look into that and see what it is. Great. Beetles. Resurrection. Resurrection and change are now necessary. Leave the past behind and be protective of changes you initiate. There's that be protective of things. So some of them may desire to walk away from something that does not serve them, and that doesn't have to be romantically. It could be other situations or connections, and not everybody is going to support them. This could be people that don't support what they want. It could be the union that they're wanting, the person that they want to be with, or just the fact that they want love. You know, the homeboys, oh, you two, if you're not ready to get married, you're supposed to be a player for life, and, you know, all this stupid stuff. It could also be that too, like friends and so-called friends. So this could be actually two masculine energies at battle. Or it could represent many. Like, not everybody's going to be on board with this new change. And someone may be saying, I'm willing to dedicate myself to my spirituality and to truly learn myself on a deeper level. And they're going to have some people that are not with that. And that could be the battle that they have to go through. So take what resonates. Is there anything else the Spirit wants to say, Divine Spirit? I have not touched on. Past life relationship, honeymoon, true love, deception. Ooh, baby, I'm sorry. This could be the one. Wedding. I have to be honest with you guys. As always, passion and express your love. Don't be afraid to express your truth to someone. I feel like this is what Spirit is saying, because there's this guy with the angel wings again. The person that's meant for you, whether you're male or female, you categorize yourself as divine feminine, divine masculine, and I'm gonna stop doing that too. I know I'm in the physical form of a female, and I'm meant to embrace both sides. So I'm gonna stop only limiting myself to that, because I know I can resonate with both sides. But whoever is, whether you're male, female or feminine, masculine, whatever, that the person that's truly your essence, your divine counterpart essence, the true part of you, the gift that the divine has given you, that this person will never make you water yourself down. You don't have to do that. This person will never make you feel like you're not shit, that you're not good enough, that you're not handsome enough, pretty enough, intelligent enough. You could suck at cooking, but they'll tell you, like, babe, like, let's take some cooking classes together. Or, you know, you might not be good at cooking this, but you're good at cooking this, or you're good at that. Like, this person will never play on your pain. They will never shut you out. And even if some people do, you have to respect the fact that not everyone is for you. And just because someone was not interested in you doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that they weren't for you. They weren't your person, and you were not their person. And that's not always easy to deal with. But this is something like somebody needed to hear that. So past life relationship. Past life relationship, this is a story that I'm getting. If I see something different, I'll call it out. But okay. So there's someone that you know like the back of your hand, and someone that knows you like the back of your hand. This could even be an ex, or this could be someone that comes in and out of your life. And it could also be someone that you just have a past life connection with, where it's very passionate. You guys may have been sexually intimate. Some of you may have not, but it's like you guys just fall into each other. Like, it's this unexplainable connection, and the passion, you can't really explain it. It's just like you guys just know each other. It's almost synchronized. So I get why some of you would think that, and this is not for me to tell you who your divine counterpart is. You have to discern the message if this is meant for you or not. This is just what's coming out. Okay. Past life relationship, I feel like you guys may have known each other in a past life before. You've known this person before in the past. You guys may have dated for a little bit. You may have liked each other, had crushes on each other, but never went anywhere with it. It's just like this connection, though, that I feel like you get real caught up in the energy of it, the passionate energy. It kind of pulls you in, draws you in, or it calls you. I feel like it's a feminine energy. You feel pulled in, sucked in by it. If it's a masculine energy, you just want to like strangle it to death. Like, this energy, you want to just have it in your grasp. It's this animalistic type of like overly passionate energy that's not controlled. It's off balance. You want to possess the it's a masculine energy that wants to possess the feminine energy, not embrace her, not allow her to be liberated or to be free in her essence and her energy and her truth, but to possess her, to control her, your mind. And it's an unhealthy dynamic, let's put it like that. It goes through its honeymoon moments, its honeymoon phases. Maybe it started off very sweet and blissful. It started off very blissful in the beginning. You guys may have taken trips together. You may have met on a trip, or this person could have met you while they were out of town, or you vice versa, whatever. And it felt divinely orchestrated. And the truth is, it was divinely orchestrated. But the thing is, you might have saw this as true love. It's this Romeo and Juliet energy, this ill-fated connection, or this star-crossed lover thing where it never hits off. Like Romeo and Juliet, like we're from two different worlds, two different backgrounds, two different ethnicities, maybe sex or same sex, something that's taboo or something that is forbidden or something that prevents you from fully being together. It could be distance, could be the fact that this person has another person with a deception card. But the thing is that you're not seeing things clearly. You're not seeing this person for who they really are. And another thing, again, Spirit is saying that people were wearing masks. Some of you were not being your authentic selves with this person, and vice versa. So I'm not going to put the blame on just one person and this person. I feel like it goes both ways. In some way, maybe you did not feel comfortable to be your authentic self, and that's what Spirit is saying. Like, somehow you just didn't feel like you could be yourself. You felt like you had to prove your worth to this person. Maybe this person made themselves feel like they had to prove their worth to you. So this says this could be the one. You feel like you've already met the one, and this person, some of you guys, this could have been an old situation where now 10 years later, 5 years later, 2 years later, you're married to this person and now you feel stuck. So, or you're in a serious relationship with this person and you feel trapped. For some of you, I feel like this is a masculine energy that's feeling trapped, that may have committed themselves or married this person that they thought was the one, and now they're seeing that that person is not the one. It's not it. Feminine energies, this could have been you in the past. Like, oh, I thought, so-and-so was going to be my one and forever, and that's not what it is. So when you meet the one, it's not going to be this contradiction, because this card is a contradiction. It's like, this could be the one. And then when you look down at the meaning of the card, it says, you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So it's contradiction. So there's deception in this. There's something you need to really see for what it is. Like, you're not going to be confused when you meet the one. And that's why you had to go through the counterfeit or the counterfeits to recognize that and see that. And for some of you, maybe it was just confirmation of something that you needed, whether that was quote unquote a good or bad confirmation. But whatever it is that you've concluded or resonate with, take it as it resonates for you personally, because it's not going to translate the same for everyone. Okay, so don't water yourselves down for nobody. Not a nobody. I don't care who they are. All right. I'm going to pull an Isis Oracle card as to what is it that we need to transmute, heal, release, whatever wants to come out. And then I'll pull from my Divine Love Fortune Oracle to see what potentially is to come for the collective. And I might do a giveaway with this card soon, so be on the lookout for this deck. This deck soon. All right, so let's see. Isis energy. What is it that collective needs to release? That is no longer serving them or other highest good, or embrace whatever it is, Mama Isis. Mama Aset, what is it that you wish to share? All right. Goddess of 10,000 names, endless emanations of the priestess. Okay. Let's see what she has to say. I'm going to read from the book. I might not read everything out of the book because this is really lengthy. Okay. It says, Isis with many names, forms, associations, and expressions is referred to as the goddess of 10,000 names. A name holds power. It defines and energizes our limits. The names, faces, and roles that you play are just one part of your being. Yet you exist beyond them, beloved initiate, as a vast being. You are currently realizing that you are not limited by previous identities you've held. Instead, you are becoming more of your whole self. Haven't we been saying that? Like, we've been saying that all throughout the reading. Enjoy the uncovering of even more of you. Just like the Lady Isis, you are multifaceted, multidimensional being. It is most helpful at this phase in your path that you learn not to attach the roles or identities that you may have held once great importance for you or others relating to you. It does not mean that you must cease to relate to that name or role, more that you are realizing it is only a part of you, and there is even more of you wishing to express itself now. The roles you are needing to move beyond might be mother, executive, healer, good person, strong person, always in control, daughter, teacher or guru, grandmother, and so on. There is nothing wrong with these roles, and you may still express part of your vast self through such roles, but you are at a significant point in your inner development where you are learning that these are not who you are, but simply expressions of eternal, endless self, uncontainable by any human descriptions. It can be tricky to avoid getting stuck in these roles that others prescribe for you or expect of you, and yet your self-definition will become wider and your experience of yourself will be more real and fulfilling if you are to open to discovering more of you beyond the person you have considered yourself to be up until now. For this to happen, you must be willing to allow the many and varied faces of your being, your 10,000 names, to begin to emerge in your awareness, to realize that you are more than you are currently imagining yourself to be. This opens up tremendous freedom of choice and possibility in life. This can be both exhilarating and terrifying. Trust that the self is in essence divine love, and there is a great joy in its unfoldment. Even if there are challenges to let go of the fears that have held us trapped in certain roles and identities at times. The call to let go of old identity is very strong, leading you to this oracle at this time. When a new, more fulfilling, more whole and truthful sense of identity awaits you. Any fear or struggle that you go through to allow this to happen, beloved, will be spiritually repaid to you, multiplied in so many ways. There is nothing to lose except old limitations and so much wonder and joy to be gained. This oracle also indicates that there is a spiritual name waiting for you on the inner planes. The name may come from various spiritual traditions as a name of a deity, a sacred mantra, or it could be an actual name that you can sound out and use in meditation or sacred temple activities with spiritual groups. That name may also simply be a note, an inner awareness of sound. It can be sourced by going into your heart, almost felt, then heard or spoken. This spiritual name is coming to you to help you deepen your connection with yourself. Like any other identity, it is just a representation of it for a time. You do not need to pack up your old life in search of an entirely new or one unless your heart deeply guides you to or guides you with peace and neutrality. That this is what is needed for your spiritual growth. More often than not, what this spiritual name offers you is the chance to begin to loosen your grip on your old identity, not throw it away completely, and sense yourself in a more expanded light. Whether you consciously and easily receive your spiritual name in meditation, or your dream state, or through a healing or conversation with another initiate, or whether it remains a mystery, trust that it is in your heart, calling you to recognize more of your true self. If you already have a spiritual name, this oracle is guidance to not become too attached to that identity either. Names are ways of knowing and being, but they are not the being. This can be hard for us to take on board in a culture that loves to label and therefore understand everything. For the initiate, however, accepting mystery is a part of the spiritual journey into self. If you have felt constrained by a role, name, or identity and are wishing for assistance in growing beyond it, or if you have sensed a new role or identity calling you into greater expression and would love some divine help in that growth, this oracle indicates that the help you need is already within you, urging your growth from within. Okay? So they have incantations, if that's how you pronounce it. It's up to you whether you want to get into all that, or you can say your own affirmations or set the intention to tap more into yourself. So basically saying don't limit yourself to one aspect and truth and labels and titles of things. And that kind of goes along with this message, like I was saying, that twin flames, soulmates, and all that stuff is just a title or label. And sometimes you have to be careful with what you label things to be, or what you stay stagnant and stuck in, because certain things evolve in a time, you know. So let's see, what does the potential future hold for your divine connection? Now, this is not going to resonate with each and every one of you. It's not all going to happen at one time. Like I cannot get into that stuff. I cannot prescribe to, oh, union's going to happen. Oh, there's going to be massive unions for all of you and all this. I can't get into all this stuff. And that's not to say that there's not, because there's millions of people on the planet. So it's not to say that a lot of people did not meet their divine counterparts that come back to their true divine counterparts, not so much of who we think it is, because sometimes who we think it is not who it is. Some of these people were just help us to bring us to these points on our journeys, not to stay. They weren't that. So it's possible that it could happen, but it's not, we all have a due date with things. Like if you think of a pregnancy, not all of us is going to have our babies at the same time. And even if, a woman had her baby the same day as one other lady in the hospital, that baby was born at a different time than that baby. So, you got to think of certain situations like that. Not everybody's journey is the same. Love, career, whatever, spiritual purpose and awakenings, whatever, is not going to be the same as the next person. So you never should compare your journey to the next person. Not everybody's love story is the same. Not everybody's love story follows a specific template, like runner, chaser. Like, all that stuff is very limiting to a vast being. And it keeps you in a loop, if you ask me. Alright, let's see. But I'm not knocking it, because just like everything, every religion, every system or whatever, it all holds some truth, and it all holds some sort of positive essence, just as it has shadow. Just like tarot for some people, like, just as an example, tarot and readings and stuff, it could be good and sometimes it could be bad. It's all in your energy. It's all how you use it. You never want to get too stagnant and caught up in one specific way of doing things. You do have to follow your soul. You have to follow your heart when you're doing things, and take only what resonates with you. All right. What is the fortune? Thank you. This card keeps coming out. So it says new baby, a new bundle of joy, children and family. But I did say in the beginning of the reading that some of you guys may be pregnant, may be having babies soon. Finding out that you're pregnant, or you're giving birth to joy, a bundle of joy. You're giving birth to yourself. You're giving birth to things that you truly have a joy and passion for, a new life. And that could be in your connections. So you have gamble, tough decisions, choice between lovers and risks. So some of you do have some tough decisions to make in love, or your divine counterparts have some tough decisions to make, and it could be choice between lovers. Some of you may have to let go of something in order to receive new love. So new romantic prospects, new beginnings in love. So yeah, it very well could be that for some of you, you have to make a new decision that's not easy, which brings you to this new place of love. Does not have to be a new person. It could be renewed love. But for others, it is that you have to make a tough decision to let go of a past lover or someone that you're holding on to that does not serve you, in order to be receptive to a new kind of love and a new lover altogether, so that you can receive these new beginnings. You have the word new twice. So there will be new beginnings. For some of you, this could be tomorrow. This could be next week, 2 weeks, a month, a year, 2 years. But take what resonates. These are potential future energies, and it's going to be different for everyone. Not everyone's story is the same. So please only take what resonates with you, okay? You'd have to get a personal reading, you guys, to know what's meant for you and what's true for you with whatever reader you feel led to, okay? For those of you that want to book a personal reading with me, you guys can check out my website. I have multiple types of readings. If you guys ever have any questions about my readings, my availability, please email me directly at my Gmail accounts. Also, you guys can follow me on Instagram if you guys want to stay up to date with me. My erotic tarot stories, I try to do those Thursdays, and I post them on my blog, on my website, if you guys want to go back and read my erotic stories that I write. Any of my decks, including this one, I may put this up for pre-order. This was just like a little simple deck that I just made. I was sitting on these cards for a minute, and I just decided to finally just print them out. So like I said, I'll do a giveaway with these soon. So if you guys are interested in any of my decks, my tarot, my oracle cards, one of the big one that I use, my other big one, my tarot cards, and my Baddie oracle cards, you guys can check the links in the description. So I appreciate y'all. Hopefully this message it's a long reading. I did not know that it was that long of reading. I know I did talk a lot, but when I talk, I know it's just not me just like rambling on. It's spirit talking. But I hope it resonated and that it helped someone that needed to take this message on for themselves, and that you discern and filter through what is it that's truly meant for you. And yeah, be inspired to heal, inspired to release anything that doesn't serve you, inspired to manifest what is for you, call in yourself, your true divinity, your true power, keep yourself going, create, manifest. Much love, peace.